Hello everyone, Skits here and welcome to episode 29 of Skyrim Weekly. First thing I wanted to ask you guys before we start the show is to recommend me some DayZ sites similar to Nexus for Skyrim, where I can meet up with other people, share my videos, or do some collaboration since I don't know any. Also, if you feel like, you can add me on Steam and we can play together sometimes. Thank you in advance, and now let's begin. First mod I have for you is called Air EMB by HRK1025. This mod adds a new EMB preset into the game. First thing you should do is download version 0.254 of EMB series, and after that follow easy step-by-step instruction manual on mod page. Main goal of this EMB is performance and realism. As you can see on screen right now, this EMB looks similar to vanilla one, colors are realistic and are not oversaturated like with many other EMBs, and overall atmosphere is great as well. It has some elements of vanilla one, while also making world look a lot better and alive. Performance is very good as well. When compared to Project EMB I used in my previous video, FPS increased by 10 at least, and my overall FPS is around 50 right now, so it is suitable even for slower computers. Thanks to color filter it uses, this EMB looks amazing, especially during sunrise and sunset. I also use this EMB throughout the whole video, so there is more than enough footage for you to decide if you like it or not. For me, it was a great EMB with amazing performance and visuals that did not ruin vanilla atmosphere, but only made it better. Next up we have Difficult Archery by Askeladden. This mod, just like the name says, aims on making archery harder, especially for NPCs. Since archery is a difficult art to master, it seems weird that every random bandit wielding a wooden bow can hit you from any distance at any time, and only way to not get hit is to do a sidestep dance. With this mod on, however, everything changes and you no longer have to dance like a fool when dodging arrows. From now on, NPCs have a chance to miss you, and this chance depends on which one of 4 difficulties you choose from mod page. Me, just like most other people, chose second option, and I could see the change in game immediately. As you can see, enemy bandits now don't hit me with every shot, especially if I'm far away, and they get more accurate closer you are to them. Mod also disables auto aim, so that aiming is a little bit harder on PC, with an optional file that keeps it on. Overall, a small mod that however has a huge impact on archer fights. It makes them more realistic and easier at the same time, and I definitely recommend it. Moving on, we have Bleed Them Dry by Lassie123. This mod allows you to make different weapon types do bleed damage. First thing you have to do is go to mod configuration menu, where as you can see are all weapon types in game. After you select one of them, you can set its bleeding damage. For purpose of showcase, I chose maximum damage for all weapon types. Now let's take a look at how it works in game. Whenever I strike someone, other than taking usual damage, they will also slowly start losing health thanks to bleeding damage of weapon. Since I chose 1 damage for 60 seconds, target can bleed out and die even without me striking him a second time. But the effect however stacks, so if I attack again, he will take 2 damage for 120 seconds. When target reaches 20% of health, they will move slower, and when they are at 10%, they will stagger when hit. Undead and Waban enemies are also immune to bleed damage. Bleed damage, however, is only applied to enemies, and it will not affect you, so if you get hit nothing happens, you only take normal damage, which is a shame. But otherwise, this is an interesting mod, I liked it and you should go ahead and check it out. Now let's take a look at Blink by Madrilous. You may already know this modder, since he was the one who made Gifts of Outsider that added Dishonor team spells into Skyrim. Now he decided to release Blink as separate one. You can learn this spell by finding Spell Tome in Solitude, or just spawn it through console. Now I personally love Dishonored, and it was probably my favorite stealth game of all time, and I was able to sit in one corner for 10 minutes just to sneak by enemies. If you are unfamiliar with Dishonored, Blink is basically a teleportation spell that allows you to move to any place you desire, if it is not too far. As you can see on screen right now, it works perfectly. There are of course some bugs here and there with clipping or your character falling through buildings, but otherwise I love it. It is very useful when sneaking or during combat if you want to surprise your enemy. I personally definitely recommend it, and you should go ahead and download it. Now I'm sure all of you noticed that recently there was a huge amount of mods that retexture stages on Nexus. At first I thought I would not take a look at them, but the demand and amount of them is so big that I decided to show at least few of them, specifically those that came out this week and did not include huge boob jobs. They were all made by AnTiWoMaAgNoT, and first one is called Vacant Winterhold Statue. You can find the statue in front of Winterhold College. Main difference between vanilla and modded one is that cape is no longer flying in the air, and the statue now holds fireball in right hand and ice ball in left hand. It looks very impressive, I did like it, and it is not one of those small mods, does not change your game, but it is a nice visual improvement that you will keep in your game. Another one is called Clever Clavius. This time I had to change mask Clavius is holding from stone one to actual mask that is available in game. Statue also has a new improved texture that is 2K. It looks very good, just look at Barbas and his happy face. Again, a great job, great looking retexture, and now let's move on to the last one I have for you. It is called Bucolic Boetiach and it came out just yesterday. It comes with new 4K and 2K textures that will melt your computer, and Boetiach is looking very good. Also, one thing I noticed is that each one of names for these statues is very similar. Both first and second name always start on same letter. Damn, I'm a good detective, right? Anyway, great looking statue mods. Make sure you also check out all other ones Master made, because I definitely recommend them. Now let's move on to our Game of Thrones special. I absolutely love it, it is probably one of my favorite shows of all time, and I was very happy when I saw all those new Game of Thrones themed mods on Nexus. So let's take a look at them. First we have 3 shields of 3 different houses, all made by same master. First one is Targaryen shield. You can obtain it by crafting it under Ebony section at any forge. As you Game of Thrones fans know, there is no Targaryen shield in GOT now, and Master created this shield simply by his imagination. It comes with custom mal and textures. It looks freaking amazing. As you can see, emblem of Targaryens is displayed on both front and back of shield, and even though I'm not personally a huge fan of Targaryens, I loved this shield. And also actress playing Daenerys is beautiful as well. And that is all I gotta say about that. Next up we have Lannister shield, house of everyone's favorite dwarf Tyrion and most hated female character Cersei. You can obtain it by crafting it under Imperial section. There are supposed to be 2 versions of this shield, but in version I downloaded, only one of them was included, or it had a different name, since I could not find it. Again, it comes with custom model and textures, looks beautiful, just like Targaryen shield, and I will definitely use it from now on. And now let's move on to Starks. They now have both sword and shield in the world of Skyrim. First let's take a look at shield. It is called of course Stark's shield, and you can obtain it by crafting it under studded category at any forge. It looks once again very good. It has custom model and textures. Emblem in the middle is of course Stark's emblem that every Game of Thrones fans knows. Shield also has Dwarven shield cube maps, and even though original shield is from iron, Master decided to make it steel shield, since not a lot of people use iron items in their game. Now let's move on to weapon. It is called Ice and it was made by Uschtenheim. Ice is a signature Valyrian sword of Eddard Stark that was also used on promotional images for first season of Game of Thrones, and in season 4 it was melted into 2 smaller swords. In game you can obtain it by crafting it under steel category at Skyforge. It comes with custom model and textures. It is a great sword and it is once again beautiful. As you can see, blade is very detailed, shiny, and it looks very similar to original. In combat it worked fine as well, it was nor overpowered nor weak. Overall, all 4 mods are amazing. Even if you're not a fan of Game of Thrones, you will love these, and I definitely recommend them. And last mod I have for you today is called Terra by Zikoru, author of Sol and Luna we reviewed last week. This mod adds a new weapon into the game. You can obtain it by crafting it at any forge under steel category. It comes with both 1- and 2-handed weapon. It has custom model and textures. Textures look very good, they are detailed, they're not as shiny as ones on Master's previous works, and they fit in Skyrim lore a lot more. Terra also comes with custom scabbard, and it is available in both 2K and 1K resolutions. Weapon was also designed to have Damascus Valyrian steel pattern, and it was inspired by elven weaponry. In combat it was a little bit too strong, especially when dual wielded. But overall, this is a great looking sword, I liked it, and you should go ahead and check it out. And that is all for this week guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode. Leave a like if you did, tell me what you think about it in the comments, subscribe for more Fallout, Skyrim, DayZ and Stalker, and I'll see you next time.